here.
And,
Tamak?
oh, we better find
Oh, let me go.
Thamak, it looks like.
Tamak.
You want me to ask?
Let me. He did it back here. That's that one. Anna there. Okay. It's got to be Tamak. It's just Tamak. I don't see any way another way it would be. So writing is not great, but
Thamak.
besides, everybody's used to me mispronouncing names anyway. Okay. Don't need that. Once we start, there's no changing.
Not changing anymore.
Okay, let's see where you're coming in. Story of Old Ages, Anthem.
And I think I have right before the anthem, I added the centering meditation. So I'll do that.
So the book can be taken off at the point of Story for Old Ages. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. And I'm up at that point. So I will, after the sharing the basket, I will take it with me.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Awesome. And I think in my bio she talks about cognitively based compassion training.
Yes.
That's sometimes a tricky thing even for me to remember how to say. I just wanted to share it that it's cognitively based compassion training, CBCT.
Right.
So
Yeah, I had to practice that about 5 times this
I
morning.
know, I'm still always messing with it. And I'm teaching. So I should sit here.
and welcome to the Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marietta, Georgia. My name is Michael Myers, and I'm your chairman of the building committee, a member of the shortened base section, and the worship associate for this morning. We are glad you are here. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey in life, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, wherever you were born, whatever your language you speak, you are welcome here. Whatever your skin color, whatever your class background, whatever your range of abilities, you are welcome here. We are glad that you chose our congregation for your place of worship this morning. We come together for worship in order to slow down and to listen to the calling of our hearts, our spirits. For everyone here in person, you are invited to join us in social hour following the service for light refreshments in our 2 fellowship halls. One is downstairs, right behind the sanctuary, and you can get there by this hallway on my right. It's your left, I believe. The other is set aside for family-friendly fellowship and snacks is upstairs in room 214, which is about right there. You can reach it by the back staircases, back in here, or the elevator. It's a slow elevator, so it'll take time. After fellowship time, please join us for religious exploration for all ages and small group activities as listed in the back of your order of service. It is so good to be together. Now we pause to light our chalice as a symbol of our shared Unitarian Universalist fellowship. Anna Thomnik is our, there you go, Anna. Oops, I forgot to light the bloody. And this light we kindle is set in the lamp of our history. We inherit this free faith from the brave and gentle, fierce and outspoken hearts and minds that have come before us. Let us be worthy inheritors of this faith, and through our good works pass it boldly to a new generation. And now, in the spirit of love and beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day as we share our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. Let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around and offer greetings. For those that are online, please use the chat to introduce yourself. Emerson is pleased to welcome Reverend Megan Lloyd Joyner. She is back in our pulpit. Some of you may have been here last spring when she spoke here. Since then, Emerson's board has voted in September to welcome Reverend Megan Joyner as our affiliated community minister with this congregation. This is not an employed position, rather it is a formal relationship between Emerson and the affiliated minister that broadens the reach of the ministry within the congregation and into the wider community. Reverend Megan's presence will support Reverend Christina's ministry at Emerson, will offer support for the pastoral care team when Reverend Christina is not available, and also join us as a guest minister at least twice a year. Reverend Joyner brings many years of experience of Unitarian Universalist ministry and is now serving the wider community as a certified teacher of CBCT, which is Cognitively Based Passion Training, at Compassion U. CBCT is a system of contemplative exercises designed to contribute to an individual's well-being and strengthen and sustain compassion for others. Reverend Megan Lloyd Joyner is an ordained, both adorned and ordained, Unitarian Universalist minister and a board-certified chaplain. A long-life Unitarian Universalist, she is a member of the Unity Chapel Incorporated Board of Trustees in Spring Green, Wisconsin. Megan served as the chaplain and chair of religious studies at Woodward Academy in Atlanta, Georgia from 2022 to 2025. She is certified cognitively based passion training instructor with Emory University. Megan holds a bachelor's degree in religious studies from Wesleyan University at Milton, Connecticut, and a master's degree of divinity from the Union Theological Seminary in New York City, with an additional training at New York Presbyterian Hospital, Emory University Spiritual Health, and a Emerson Compassion Center. That was Emory Compassion Center. Megan served congregations and connected for nearly a decade before moving in 2019 to Atlanta, where she now lives with her husband and two daughters, ages 11 and 5. Special note, during the 4 years of the UUA ministerial fellowshipping process for Reverend Christina, Reverend Megan was her mentor. Thus, they know each other well and respect each other's individual ministerial gifts they bring to Emerson, the wider community, and to Unitarian Universalism. Welcome again to Emerson. That's a mouthful. Our opening words this morning are by Karen G. Johnston. Ancestors who speak with bravest fire, lend us your senses that we may know another world is on her way, breathed into life with our participation in her creation. Forebearers who led the way where there was, at least at first, no way, lend us your persistence, your temerity, and assurance that the moral arc of universe does indeed bend towards justice. Ones who went before us, sacrificing for a future not our own, not your own, help us to give ourselves that common stones of our hands together might be cathedrals of compassion today, halls of restorative justice tomorrow, sheltering walls of beloved community the day after. It is Sunday morning, the day we gather. Let us be thankful and full of praise to be in the company of those who came before, yet are ever in our midst. In celebration, let's join together in song. Please rise and body our voice as we join together in song with it's in the Teal hymnal, number 1008. Our hearts are in a holy place. As in,
we pause and reflect on matters of the heart. Thank you, Anna. Can you help me with the stones? Thank you so much. For this morning's ritual, we have water and we have river stones. The stones are smooth and the stones have weight. They're indicative of both life's pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. The water receives these stones with ease and with calmness. Each week, you are invited to write a joy, a sorrow, or a concern in this book, which is left out in the out back there, or email it to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org to be read and shared with the congregation. And in today's book, we first begin by placing 3 stones. The first is in honor of the Cherokee and the Muskogee nations of indigenous people who lived here on these lands before us. The second is in memory for those wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land. And the third is for all those hurting in current conflicts across the globe. And within our community, we share. Reverend Jeff Jones asks for your thoughts and prayers for his family. His stepmother recently entered hospice, and his sister is in rehab after a 12-day hospital stay with a serious case of COVID. She has serious pulmonary health issues. And Sydney Smith shares with us, please continue to keep me and my family in your thoughts as we begin to navigate this life after the passing of my mother last week. And Greg Baldwin shares he's praying for our friends and Caribbean neighbors in Jamaica with Hurricane Melissa, and also all the other islands affected, Cuba and others that are in her path. And also he shares that he recently lost his Uncle Mark, so he asked for prayers for his family. And Sally Riddle shares with us the good news that she's feeling thankful that her recovery from knee replacement surgery is apparently exceeding expectations. That's great news. Thank you all for your well wishes and offers of help. And Jane Dillingham shares that she is happy to report that her sister Vicki is stable and is finding a great balance with her medication, one day at a time. She thanks all of you for her support, for your support and love. Thank you, Anna. And in thankful awareness, let's say the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. Please read the words with me that are printed in your order of service. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be.
The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. Our offerings help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond this congregation as tools to bring more love to the world. Each week, our offering is equally shared between our congregation and our partner organization. This month, we are partnering with Lost and Found Youth. Lost and Found Youth is a Atlanta-based nonprofit organization that provides services to LGBTQ youths experiencing homelessness. Their traditional house provides help with overnight needs. This month, in addition to sharing the collection with this important organization, we are collecting gently used clothes, especially jeans and new underwear or socks. These items can be given to youth in need or sold in their gift shop. Please bring donations to room 103, which I believe, that way, yeah, okay. Got help from the back there. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation and see in your order of service other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org, select the Giving tab to donate. For For children among us, there are lollipops in the basket too.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Ooh, it's working. All right. Can I have the young and the young at heart come join me up here for our story for all ages? Hello. Can you sit on this side of me? I need to leave this space free. And there's a special reason why. Can you see what I am missing in my lap today? What don't I have? A book. How should I come to Story for All Ages without a book? This is kind of strange, right? But guess what I did bring? I brought a special guest. And here she comes now. And she is going to tell our story. Oh, this is so heavy. I'm just going to leave it there.
I can. It's okay. I'm strong.
I'm
Yeah. It's the angle you're holding it.
Ooh. Mr. Michael did not practice the prop movement, so it is not going well. Oh.
Good morning, everyone. I'm reading the story Room on the Broom, which some of you may be familiar with, by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Schaefer. The witch had a cat, and a cat hat that was black, and long ginger hair, we use our imagination, in a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off the hat. "Down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in its jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then, all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. I am a dragon, as mean as can be, and which with French fries tastes delicious to me. Nope, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon grew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch without fries. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, buzz off, that's my witch. The dragon drew back as he started to shake. I'm sorry, he sputtered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and whew, said the dog. And thank you Thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside. Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, find something, everyone, throw something in. Pause in the story. Sorry. Find something, everyone. Throw something in. So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! Then out rose a truly magnificent broom with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Thank you.
All right, before we do our song of dedication, thank you, Miss Patricia, for our story. Remember, if you're 7 and younger, you can go to nursery with me in the back after we do our song, and the words to the song are on the back of your program.
How fun. Happy Halloween. Let us join now together in the spirit of meditation and prayer. And as we do, may we remember that there is room for all of us here. May we remember that we will be known by the company we keep, and that we are in good company here. May we remember that the moral arc of our universe does indeed bend toward justice, but also that each of us must pull on that arc with all of our might in order to see it bend. As we center ourselves this morning, tending to our hearts and our minds and our bodies in this moment, in this space, let us see if we can't offer some of that centering towards others. As we send ripples of care from this calm space into our bruised and battered world that is so in need of the love that we share. Let us now share silence together. Blessed be.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Thank you, choir. What a time to be alive indeed. Our reading this morning comes from 1896 by the Reverend Lloyd Jones, excerpts from his work entitled, Will It All Be the Same? I will give you a forewarning, it was 1896, so some of the language is a little outdated. I ask for your patience. Never mind, it will all be the same 100 years from now, says an old maxim. Will it? In hours of perplexity, doubt, or hard-handed duty, how great the temptation to find consolation under the shelter of this old proverb, seeking relief in it from frets and strains. But science is day by day revealing how humble a place in the universe man occupies, albeit it teaches the divine significance of little things. The new thought is that man is a humble, although altogether significant link in the endless chain of being, and that human life is a sweet bud put forth on the top branches of the great tree of evolution. If science teaches anything, it teaches the awful significance of what in common speech we call insignificant. Will it make no difference 100 years hence whether the river that God has stretched as a ribbon of silver through the land be skirted with garbage or with flowers? Never let this sentence pass your lips again as an indication that you hold human effort, however feeble, as worthless, human conduct, however inefficient, as cheap. The very methods of science that teach our littleness teach us also the divine significance of little things, the abiding permanence of trifles. The eternal reads our confessions of faith not in our words, but in our acts, not in our phrases, but in our deeds. And these are things not of time measured by centuries, they are things of eternity. So ends the reading. What a pleasure it is to be with you all again this morning. I am so deeply grateful for the opportunity to serve as your affiliated community minister, and I look forward to connecting with you as time goes on. As we gather this morning to explore the theme of the morning, strong foundations, I want to start by sharing with you the story of a very particular foundation, both literal and spiritual, that is vital not only for my own life, but for all of us as Unitarian Universalists. We can cue that first photo up there, Josh. I want to tell you about a place called Unity Chapel. This is Unity Chapel. It is outside of Madison, Wisconsin, at a bend in the road just down from Frank Lloyd Wright's home, Taliesin. About half a mile from the Wisconsin River, there sits this simple country church. A graveyard surrounds the chapel, and generations of the Lloyd Jones family are buried there. This summer, to my surprise, my younger daughter, who is 5, asked where our plots might be when the time came for us to join them. You see, it was my Unitarian ancestors, the children of Richard and Mally Lloyd Jones, who immigrated from Wales in the 1850s and laid the foundation of Unity Chapel in 1886. Mally had died by then, and her children, my great-great-grandfather among them, sought to honor her memory by erecting what they called their eternal center, a place where the family would gather to practice their faith freely without fear of the persecution that they had experienced both in Wales and in Wisconsin. And so they asked their young nephew, Frank, to cut his architectural teeth by designing the building with an architect from Chicago. It would be his first building. As they began to gather in that simple building, Uncle Jenk, as he was called, the Reverend Jenkin Lloyd Jones, we can cue the second photo, whom we heard from earlier, came home from Chicago to offer sermons. Much like you do here at Emerson, they shared wisdom from the world's religious traditions. And they sought paths by which they could deepen their commitment to their fellow human beings, to lead in love, as the choir sang so beautifully, and to expand the capacity for goodness that they believed that each human person possessed. Over the next century, though, as descendants moved away from the river valley and the chapel fell into disrepair, it was my great-grandmother, my mother is here today, it was her grandmother who took my grandfather and his brother there in the 1960s. And they sat in the center of a crumbling building with rain falling in through holes in the roof. "Take care of this place," she told them. And so they did. And in 1979, the year of my birth, descendants of the Lloyd Joneses founded Unity Chapel Incorporated, a nonprofit dedicated to the upkeep and maintenance of our family's chapel with the goal of sustaining that sacred space for future generations. I was just 3 years old the first time I was brought to the chapel, and it has been one of the greatest pleasures of my life to bring my own children back to that special building year after year. I have a photo, the next photo is of my older daughter who is here this morning when she was a baby in front of Richard and Mally, the original ancestors. This summer, when I returned in June, it was the first time that any of us had set foot in the chapel for nearly 3 years, during which we had done major renovations on the floor and the foundation. Repairs were necessary because a few years ago we began a project to fix what was described as a squishy part of the floor. And it was soon discovered that most of the floor was indeed squishy. It was mushy, really, all the way down through the floorboards to what should have been the joists on which the floor was resting. But the joists, most of them were rotten, decomposed, gone. The floor was practically floating, and it is miraculous that no one fell through. But now, thanks to years of diligent labor by my cousins and our contractors, a new beam known as the King Beam runs down the center aisle of the building, and all the joists coming off of the King Beam have been replaced, new planks installed on top of them, and that floor is once again blessedly solid. But how could it have gotten so weak? Well, upon further inspection, my cousin crawled underneath the building, and it turns out that the air vents that had been originally placed in the stone foundation of the building had been plugged. At some point, someone had decided that it would be better to keep rodents out by sealing the vents rather than keep water out by letting air flow under the building. So over the years, the moisture was sealed into the foundation, and it rotted those joists from the inside out. Now, the foundation itself was strong, and it is now stronger still. The vents are re-exposed and functional again, and everything has dried out, and it will stay dry, hopefully for another 140 years. But there is something comforting to me, inspiring even in this idea that a strong foundation is actually the one with holes in it. Holes so that the building can breathe. It is indeed fresh air that preserves the past, keeps it solid for the present and for generations into the future. Our faith has lived by this axiom for generations. Our openness to fresh new ideas, to new discoveries, and to other people. It was passed down to us by our spiritual ancestors. And we share with them our belief in the freedom of each person to engage in their own search for truth and for meaning, to build a life of integrity and strong character. And we believe, as they did, in the power of love to transform hearts and minds, and that we can sing together and live together in harmony, building vibrantly diverse communities that are based on mutual care and respect, grounded in democratic principles. The Unitarian Universalism that we know today has been built on foundations led by curious and dedicated people, just like those who gathered in Unity Chapel nearly 150 years ago. The truth is, we have all built on the strong foundations of those who have gone before us. And so I invite us now to take a moment to reflect on the people who have laid the spiritual and emotional and ethical foundations of our own lives. I invite you to call to mind your ancestors, be they familial or spiritual. Bring them into focus in your mind's eye, and if you wish, you might offer them gratitude for their wisdom and their guidance, and for their inspiration. Because it is time now, when so many of us are especially despairing of the state of our nation and of our world, to remember those who inspire us. It is time to remember that we are not alone, that we are never alone. It is time to remember that the company we keep includes a great circle of witnesses, cloud of witnesses that encircle us and are with us, behind us and before us. They encourage us now as we strive to live lives of integrity and purpose in these challenging times. Let us remember also that our ancestors struggled to do this just as we did, as we do. Uncle Jenk, as they called him, Uncle Jenk's words, as dated as they might sound to our modern ears, tell us something in that passage that I just read that I would argue that we need to hear now more than ever. He reminds us that our individual lives have eternal significance. Never forget, he says, that our actions matter. And so in this time of trial and tribulation, of chaos and cruelty, of worry and woe, of fret and strain, let us find consolation in that idea, that each of us has eternal significance, and the choices we make, however little they might seem, matter. It matters that we engage where we can, that we choose small acts of kindness. It matters that we continue to care for our own tender hearts as we hold up the dignity and worth of our own lives and of those of the most vulnerable in our society. And so even when we may feel powerless in the face of the forces of hatred and fear, let us not forget that our efforts have abiding permanence. Abiding permanence. As Unitarian Universalists, we have strong foundations for this way of being in the world. And it is time now to strengthen them even more. It is time to examine the floorboards of our own convictions, the king beams of our own lives. And the truth is that every generation has faced tests of how solid our moral ground can be. What we choose to do in challenging times, in these times, the king beam we lay down, the way we set our joists into that beam, the strength of the wood that we install matters perhaps most of all. So friends, now is the time not to abandon the foundations of our faith or of our democracy, but to reinforce them, to strengthen them again for future generations. And as we do this, let us remember the dedication of our spiritual ancestors, those who fought to practice their faith freely, to remind themselves again and again, and to remind others of their guiding values, to look at the world changing around them and stand for truth and beauty and goodness and right. Now is our time to do the same. May it be so. May it be so. Let us sing together again. We'll sing in the gray hymnal number 112, Do You Hear?
Do you hear?
as we go forth from this place, I invite you to go out into the world in peace and to have courage, to return to no person evil for evil, to strengthen the faint-hearted and support the weak, and to help the suffering. I invite you to hold fast to your foundations, for they are strong and growing stronger still. Go in peace, go in love.
Thank you, Anna. As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Next week will be our annual Day of Remembrance. In honor of many religious and cultural traditions at this time of year that remember and celebrate those who have died. We will remember our ancestors and honor our deceased beloved ones that loved us into being. There will be a paper for you to write names on. You are also invited to bring a photo, if you like to, for the next altar, in front of the altar on that day. We hope you will join us next week. And there will also be a cups ceremony on Friday night, where we're going to actually do a camp out after the ceremony. There are other announcements. Peter Gobitz.
I'm right here. I am not Peter. I am Bruce. Peter is flying back in today. I wanted to remind everybody that November 8th, 2 weeks, Rise Up and Sing is happening here. Waldo's Coffee House is being transformed by Peter. He has done a great job of bringing some new artists in. You want to hear them. The musicians of Emerson are going to be there. As you leave, on your right-hand side, there's a poster with the QR code. If you'd like to pre-buy tickets, they're $15 each. Am I right? And children under 12 are free. It is a family event, so bring everybody. You'll have a chance to sing along somewhere along the way. But check that poster out to the right, and that's all I got.
Good morning. A couple quick announcements from me. Last night, a pair of camo pants showed up in my office, so if you're missing your pants, come to my office, okay? I've got some other things collected too, but also, junior and senior youth, you have a busy weekend on the 14th and 15th. Get ready for this. The 14th is our field trip to the synagogue and a conversation with the rabbi, so be prepared. That's middle schoolers and high schoolers. And then sign up for November 15th. We're doing a murder mystery party. They will be so much fun. And then parents, I'm warning you now, holiday pageant practices and rehearsals start November 9th. That's not very far away, so be prepared to bring your lunch, have lunch, and we'll rehearse after church. And I'll be sending out assignments this week. So.
And as our service ends, go now in peace and take peace wherever you go.